Welcome to another fluid flow. This is an intermediate level and we're going to be doing Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose for our peak pose. So there's going to be a lot of back bends and I want you to warm up completely first. I'm not going to take you to a full warm up here. We're basically going to be warming up in spinal waves. So if you need a lot of warm up, please do that first before you dive right in. I'm going to be showing you how to get into your tippy toes in wheel pose. It was a request from one of you guys and I will be taking you to a one-legged wheel pose. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you and subscribe to my channel. If you're not yet, please hit that subscribe button and make sure to like this video if you ever end up enjoying this class, of course. And let me know in the comments if you have any special requests from me. I would love to film that for you. All right, without further ado, all you will need is, as always, yourself and your yoga mat, and we'll jump right away. Let's begin in downward facing dog. So I want you to find your downward dog. I like my hands shoulders distance apart. And my feet would be feet together because we're going to do three-legged dogs. So I want your feet to also be close together. Let's find stillness first and connect with our breaths and our bodies. Look back to your big toe. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And breathing out. Feel every part of your body. Continuing to breathe. And maybe you're now starting to pedal the feet, bending one knee at a time. And let's start to roll our spines by tipping our toes. It's okay if you have a bending your knees to start and rolling your spine forward and rolling it back. Try to feel each vertebra as you roll. Rolling forward, tucking your chin to your clavicle as you shift your weight forward and pointing your hips up towards the sky, arching the back as you shift back. Continuing to roll and pairing it with your breath. You can move as slow as you want to really feel every part of your body. Good. Now we're gonna meet in downward facing dog. Let's have our feet together. We're gonna breathe in as we lift the right leg all the way up. Point the toes, inhale. And exhale, you're gonna bend the knee, open your hips, facing the right side. Inhale, stretch your right leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, slide that foot outside of the left hand for your fallen triangle. Left hand sweeps all the way up as you pivot the back heel down. Exhale, plant the left palm down again and knee to chest. Inhale, right leg kicks all the way up for your three-legged dog. And exhale, knee to chest and send it outside of your right hand this time. You're going to come to your lizard lunge as you shift forward and back. Good. Feeling each part of your body, that back leg, stretching. Your wrist getting warmed up as you shift forward and back. Opening the hips and maybe you're coming to the pinky side edge of that right foot as you open the right knee out to the right side. Good. Shift forward, and as you shift back, you're going to come to your downward facing dog, step the right foot back. Good, we're going to do that on the other side. Take a deep breath in, left leg lifts all the way up. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hips to the left side. Face the hips to the left, stack your hip joints. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. Big breath in as you straighten the left leg, squaring your hips. And exhale, knee to chest, and you're gonna slide it outside of the right hand. Fallen triangle, pivot the back heel down, right hand sweeps all the way up, breathing in. Exhale here. Again, one more breath, inhale. Exhale, plant the right palm down and left knee to your chest. Good. Inhale, send it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, send it outside of your left hand, lizard lunge. Beautiful shift, forward and back. You could open the left knee out to the left side and coming to the pinky side edge of your left foot if that feels better for your hips. Otherwise, if your hips are more open now, you could really plant that left foot down and maybe half V-shape or slanted with that left foot. Toes are pointing out, the heel towards the midline. Just a better opening there. You could sink your hips deeper if that feels good for your hips. Good. Inhale as you hollow the body all the way. And exhale, step the left leg back, high plank. Good, we're gonna hold our high plank for 10. Protract your shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes down, 8, 7, 6, push, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna flow it out, shift your weight forward, big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, squeeze your elbows towards your rib cage. Good, bend the elbows as you inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Let's take a moment to connect here and finding stillness, steadying the breath. When you're ready, we're gonna roll our spine forward. Big breath in. Slowly, as you roll back, you're gonna drop your hips down to your upward facing dog. Exhale. Good. And inhale, as you shift your hips left and right, you're basically swaying your body as you micro bend one elbow at a time, swaying to the right and swaying to the left. Keep on going, opening your back here now, rather back bending. Breathe. No pressure on the lumbar. Keep that bend in your elbows or micro bend, so not much pressure in the lower back. And push back to your downward facing dog. Good. Doing that again, roll your spine forward, really round the back, slow and controlled. Good. Dip your hips to your upward facing dog. Good. This time, you're gonna step or lift the left foot up, point the toes, and you're gonna bend the knee. Hold for a little bit. I know it is intense. You're gonna cross it to the opposite side, the right side, for your wild thing. Good. Loosen the left hand or let go. Open. Big circle, finding your wild thing. Good. You could drop the left hand to the right elbow if that feels good or accessible to you. Otherwise, you could grab your knee. Open the heart space. Look up or down if that feels so good to really work on the gravity with that head. Breathe. Slowly, you're gonna come all the way back down your left hand, and as you lift that left foot, good, you're gonna send it to your chest. Beautiful. Stay here, point the toes, hold for 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna pivot that back heel down to the left side. You're gonna side plank here, facing the left side as you slowly reach the right hand all the way up. Good, you're gonna kick that left foot straight in front of you. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Eagle legs, you're gonna cross it on top of the other leg, slow and controlled. And right hand will now go over and below your head. Beautiful. As you twist, bend both of your knees. And then straighten the knees as much as you can as you stretch the right arm. Beautiful. You're gonna come out of that bind or the eagle legs. Right hand will drop down to plant your hand to your downward facing dog shape, knee to your chest. Beautiful. Stick it out, left foot, one-legged high plank. I know it is burning. You're gonna lower down, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Oh, beautiful. We're gonna do that on the other side. Take a moment to find stillness again or center yourself. Big breath in, sigh it out. Good. When you're ready, we're gonna roll our spine forward. Breathing in, dipping the hips down as you breathe out. Breathing in, upward facing dog. Point the right toes, lift it up. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna cross it to the left side this time as you find your side or wild thing here. Good. Right hand now will sweep back and down. You could either touch the elbows or the other elbows or the knee. Whatever you feel good in your wild thing. You could even play with that left foot. The left heel can ground as you point the toes up. So it's basically flexing, right? Holding and breathing here. And slow and controlled. As you breathe out, you're gonna come back to the downward dog shape. Plant the right hand down, right knee to your chest. Lift it high. 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna pivot that back heel down to the right side now. Same thing what we did earlier. You're gonna come to the side plank on this side. Right knee still bent. Left hand will sweep all the way up. Kick that right foot towards you, in front rather. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. You're still holding. You're gonna cross it to the other leg for your either legs. Good. Bend the knee both as you twist and send that left hand over the head. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend and twist. Good. Inhale, stretch the arm. Again, exhale, twist and bend the elbow. Good, that feels so good for me. All right, I hope you too. Plant the left hand down as you pivot that back ball of your foot, right knee to your chest. Good, stick it out, one-legged high plank. You're gonna come again to your chaturanga, shift forward, lower down, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Your back is a little bit intense there, huh? Whoo. Lower your knees down. We're gonna find our rabbit pose, untuck the toes, and shift back child's pose to rest for a little bit. And we're gonna counteract the back bend. Crown of your head will now plant down on the mat in front of your knees. Good. Cup your heels with your hands. And you're gonna lift your hips away from your heels. Straighten your elbows if you can. And feeling that cervical spine stretch all the way down to that thoracic spine, lumbar, and your pelvis. Breathe and stay here. We're resting for a little bit in a rabbit pose. Option to kick the left foot and the right foot out to the sides. That depends on how you feel and your bone structure. So get a feel of your own body. Breathe. Good. Coming back to that rabbit pose if you open your knees or your feet out and all the way sitting back to your Vajrasana or sitting on your heels. Good job. Ooh, we're gonna extend our arms forward as you slide it all the way down, finding your puppy pose. Adjust yourself if you have to. I like my hands again, shoulders distance, and I like my knees a little bit backwards than my hips. That's gonna depend on you as you literally stick out the butt, arch the back, look up. Good, think about back bend all the way. Then you're gonna shift forward first, dip the hips, and shift back. Lift the hips up. Good. Tailbone pointing up. Again, shift forward. Just preparing yourself for a deep puppy pose. Shift it back. So you have this arch in your back as you shift forward, dipping the hips and shifting back. So you're not rounding the back. You're not doing cat and cow. You're basically just doing cat, right? Keep on going to warm up that spine, really arching the back. So good. Now all the way, you're gonna drop your chin and chest down on the mat. Whew, finding your puppy pose. Whew. Now from here, you're gonna curl your toes under. It's gonna be a deep back bend. When you're ready, you're gonna shift your weight left and right of your knees to adjust yourself, because we're gonna straighten our knees, finding our extended puppy here. Okay, so option for you to stay here or point the toes back if this is more comfortable for you. Otherwise, if you're up for that challenge with me, let's take our extended puppy, chin down, and you're gonna come to your straight knees. Good. Ooh. Lift up and down. Good. It's a little bit hard with my mic down. All right, now shift forward for your Sphinx pose. Good. You can adjust yourself here. I like my hands a little bit more forward. Elbows are a little bit more forward than my shoulders point, then toes back. Whew. Beautiful, sun. All right, we're gonna come to our T shape with our hands. We're gonna twist our bodies here. Left foot first, bring it up, bend the knee, and you're gonna cross it to the right side. Good. Ooh, so good. Left hand sweeps all the way up. Look up. Breathe. Good. Drop it down. And then we're gonna do that on the other side. Come back to your center, T shape with your body. Point the right toes, lift it up, bend the knee, and then you're gonna cross it to the other side. Ooh, twist the body. Ooh, pop of the bones. So good. Right hand up. Look up. Breathe. Dropping your right hand down, coming back to your center, and you're gonna come to your seal pose. So you could grab the edges of your mat, left and right, straightening your elbows as you lift your torso up. So my ribs is now floating from the mat or away from the mat, and my navel is still grounded, right? So adjust yourself. You could actually come closer to lift your navel up, right? So this is gonna depend on how deep your back bend is. Find what works best for your flexibility at the moment. Whew, staying here. We're warming up for our wheel pose. Whew. All right, wiggle, wiggle your butt cheeks. I'm literally shifting my butt to the left and to the right, if you can see. And then my hip bones are grounded fully, and you're basically shifting on the side and then the other side, right? So feel that butt moving, just a slight move. You could even drop the palms down, or your fingertips, whatever feels good for you. Good. Coming into our Dhanurasana first, right? I like my Dhanurasana knees a little bit hip distance apart. And then bend the knees, point the toes all the way up. We're gonna grab it. So all the way, hands back, breathing in. Grab your toes, your ankles, whatever you feel good with your bow pose, and kick it back. Good. And if you feel good with your knees being lifted, then let's do that. We're staying here and breathing. Good. Let go of your legs and come back to your hands next to your chest. We're gonna come up to our downward facing dog. Curl the toes under and then push back to your downward facing dog. Good. Find your down dog. Good. We're gonna sit on our heels, so bend the knees, lean your belly to your thighs, and float your knees from the mat as you lean back, kind of like a child's pose variation, as you shift your weight forward to your high plank. So adjust your hands all the way forward and high plank. Okay, so from here, adjust yourself if you didn't make it there, and then push back. Same thing, floating child's pose variation and forward. All right, shift back. And as you shift forward, protract your shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes down, hollow the body. Again, shift back and hollow the body. I like to inhale as I shift back, and I like to exhale as I hollow in plank. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. Push back. Downward facing dog. Ooh, legs are burning, huh? All right. Find stillness here. Let's take a moment to find center and ground yourself. Feel your body heat. Ooh, how are you doing? Are you still there? Oh yeah, we're gonna do some more. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna lift the right leg all the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, knee to chest. You're gonna drop the right foot inside of the right hand. We're gonna pivot to our skandasana from here. So you're just gonna face the left side. Left heel will now ground or stay grounded as the toes are up. Good, skandasana, and all the way, reach your hands up, breathe in. Exhale, switch sides. You can have your hands in a T-shaped position. Good. Okay, you're gonna face the other side of the mat. You're gonna come to your high lunge here. Same thing what we did earlier. Good, and then we're gonna step the left leg back. High plank, beautiful job. Push back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do that again, this time on the left foot. Ready? Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. You're gonna step that left foot again inside of the left hand. Same thing what we did earlier. We're gonna pivot to our skandasana on this side. Beautiful. This time, we're gonna lift our hands all the way up as we breathe in. Knee will stick out. Exhale, you're gonna send your torso down. Knee is out as you clasp your fingertips to bind. Good. And then lift your torso up. Twist your body or your right shoulder. Peel it back. Good. Right heel is grounded. Toes are up. Look up. Breathe. Let go of the bind and you're gonna sit down on your bum. Beautiful. Coming to our compass pose. Okay, you're gonna grab the outside of your left foot with the right hand, and left hand will now sweep or thread to that leg. You're gonna lift that left butt cheek, kind of hooking that to that left shoulder. And you're gonna come to your compass pose with that straight leg. You can point the toes if that feels good. Good, finding that straight both legs. Good, you can twist to the right or twist to the left. Whatever you feel good here. All right, stay here and find that yummy twist. We're warming up for the wheel. Good. All right, if you're up for a little bit of a challenge, we're gonna come to our elephant trunk pose, okay? So you're gonna hook that left knee to that upper left shoulder, right? And then you're gonna have the left hand drop down. Both butt cheeks are now grounded. You're gonna come to that folding shape. Beautiful, and all the way up. Good. Now from there, if you feel that that's stable to hook, you're gonna really point that left toes down. Okay, you're gonna have your hands plant down, right? I like mine in a elephant trunk pose a little bit wider than my shoulders. That depends on you. Okay, from here, you're gonna kind of lean a little bit forward and down. As you lift your hips up first, straighten your elbows, and then you could hook that. Good. Your leg is underneath that left foot. It's a little bit of a trick to kind of hold you up and holding for a little bit. Breathe. And dropping it down slowly. Good job. And then coming to that skandasana shape again. Whew. Inhale. Send your hands all the way up. And exhale, you're going to switch sides again. Whew. Good. Sit on your bum. We're going to do compass pose on this side. Good. So you're going to grab the outside of your right foot with the left hand or the ankle, whatever you feel good in your compass, as always. Then you're gonna thread that right arm underneath that right leg. Beautiful. From there, I'm gonna start to lift my right butt cheek up as I hook my right shoulder or my leg to that right shoulder, right? From here, you could focus on pointing that left toes and then folding and up. Good. Folding and up. All right, now let go of that hand as you drop that toes all the way pointed down. Beautiful job. And then hands a little bit wider than my shoulders distance is what I like as always, and then lean a little bit forward and down. As you straighten your elbows, lift your hips up, holding it, and hook that left leg up to that right foot. Beautiful. Welcome to your elephant trunk pose. You're holding, looking forward, smile. 3, 2, hollow the body, and 1. Lift, 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 lift. Good. Relax and all the way down. Good job. Now come into that skandasana shape again. Inhale all the way and exhale to bind. Good. Now peel the shoulders up, the left shoulders. Good. We're staying here, looking up. All right, now let go of the bind. And you're gonna bring the right knee down and swing the right leg in front of you, coming to our Dandasana, L shape with your body. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold all the way down. Paschimottanasana, open the butt cheeks to spread your pelvis and feel grounded. I like my toes flexed. To stretch the backs of the legs. Wiggle, wiggle the toes. Maybe pulling each toe up with your hands if it reaches as you fold. I like to do all these like stretching. And then I like to bend my toes. Did you hear all the pop? And then flex all the way as I kind of straighten my torso and pull my feet towards me, my toes, right? See how far you could flex your feet. I didn't start this way, I promise. My husband was surprised, like, that's so far now. He's working on his ankle mobility. He couldn't do squats before, and now he's pretty much down there already. So proud of him. All right. Peeling the toes towards you, little by little. We're also resting. All right. We're gonna come to our wheel pose from bridge, right? And we're gonna come to our supine position. So hips forward as you plant your fingertips behind you, and you're gonna come all the way down to your supine position. Good. This bent knee for the bridge position, right? So your toes, I like my feet a little bit wider than my hips, just a little bit, not too wide, right? You could also have it hip distance apart depending on how you're feeling at the moment. And then to measure, you could just approximately the tips of your fingers would touch the heels. But again, this is just an approximate because this is going to depend on your bone structure. Your arms versus your torso, your legs, everybody's different here. But ideally, if you lift up, right, you want your knees stacked on top of the heels, right? So adjust yourself if you have to, okay? There. So now coming to the bridge pose, right? Let's hold the bridge pose first. In my bridge pose, I like my butt squeezing together. Inner thighs are really drawing towards each other. You feel that, engage, boom. And then I like to really tuck in my rib cage instead of like doing this, right? That depends on you. For me, bridge pose is something that I like to get strong. So I tuck it in, navel in, and this is how I want my bridge pose. Again, we're all gonna be different. I'm still squeezing my butt cheeks. I'm holding everything, strong legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let go, drop it down. Beautiful. All right, now this time, you're gonna step the feet forward a little bit. Coming to the heels now. Drop the heels, toes are lifting up. Okay, so now we're just going to do the bridge in a different way. Same concept, what I showed you earlier, but then you're just feeling more of your quads. All right, we're gonna do this. You could grab your hips or whatever you want to grab. Hold and press the heels down. Woo! All right, hold. Staying here. Everything is strong. I'm not relaxed. And just engage. Hold. Few more. 3, 2, and all the way down. Woo! All right. Stretch your legs all the way up. Reverse L shape. And you're going to shake, shake, shake a little bit. That was a little bit intense. Woo, and drop it all the way down. Okay, coming into our wheel pose when you're ready, right? So basically, your hands facing towards your feet, right? Depending on how you want to go onto your wheel pose. But ideally, you basically will plant your palms down, right, towards your feet, or a little bit adjust yourself. We're gonna be different here, right? I always like to cue depending on how you're feeling at the moment. You guys know it already, right? So next to your ears or somewhere there, and then you're gonna lift your hips up, right? And then all the way, you could stack the crown of your head first if you need to touch it on the mat. And then push all the way up as you straighten your elbows and adjust yourself. So I like to get my elbows, or rather my head, past my elbows. My elbows and my shoulders, right? And finding that straight line. So someone requested this from you guys. I feel like I read this a long time ago. I think wanting to get to the tippy toes. So how do you get to the tippy toes, right? So you want your feet, step it closer to your hands, right? And try to talk in your reverse wheel or your wheel pose or your Urdhva Dhanurasana. If you can talk normally like how I'm doing right now, then that means you're doing it right, right? You don't want anything hurting in your wheel pose. If something is in a sharp pain, you want to go down, reset, try it again. Okay, this should be a very comfortable pose for your back. All right, now from here, if your knees are out, you want it pointing towards the midline. So draw them towards the midline so your quads are engaged. Nothing is relaxed here. Everything is really engaged. I'm not squeezing my glutes right now. I like my glutes in, not squeezing in Urdhva Dhanurasana. From here, as you lift your toes, right? So if you're planting down, you're basically gonna step your foot, close your hands to where you could get your tippy toes. All right, from there, you're gonna close your feet as close as possible together so that it's more of like a triangular shape from each point of your hand to the leg or foot, right? So now, let go of the right foot first, lift it up, right knee will bend, and you try to straighten it up. This requires a lot of energy, right? So this is not a relaxing pose. This is really hard to straighten the leg. So it's okay if you don't start here. If you feel that your leg is bent, then you can just start here. That's fine too. Your left butt cheek is highly working and engaged here, right? Whatever is lifted, the right foot, the opposite butt cheek is really working hard, right? That's a great way to strengthen your butt cheek. All right, drop it down. And we're doing that on the other side. Whew, inhale, lift the left leg up. And then I like to exhale as I all the way straighten the leg, point the toes, and really work on that tippy toes. Right butt cheek is now working. Both butt cheeks are working, but mostly the one on the opposite direction of that lifted leg because it's grounded. Holding for a little bit and dropping it all the way down. Beautiful inhale, more back bend, and exhale to go all the way down, head first. Good. And that bridge pose as you bring your hips all the way down. Woo, beautiful job. Hug your knees, and we're gonna rock our bodies left and right. Breathe. Catch your breath. Find that steady breath. So you wanna take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale as slow as possible. Good. Inhale, lift your head up. Good. And then exhale, flex the feet. Grab your toes if you can. If not, you could grab the ankles wherever you can grab. And I just like to kind of really flex the feet after you feel that. And then you're rounding the back, kind of like this shape, right? Whew. Feels good to counteract that deep back bend. Good. Now extending the leg all the way, finding your halasana, plow pose. Good. So find what works best for you. I like to supine fold. It feels so good to counteract the back bend. And if you want to get onto your halasana, you could come to your fingertips down or your hand, pushing yourself all the way up to your halasana. Good. You could support your back or your hips with your hands, depending on what you can reach. Good. Pointing the toes all the way. And let's find our lotus legs. You're going to slide that right foot down, following that left leg. Good. And then you're gonna come to that lotus position. I find this the easiest way to train your lotus if you want to learn lotus in an upside down shape. This is great, but you're not in an headstand or pincha mayurasana, right? You're basically still upside down, but in a plow pose. And then from there, gonna do on the opposite side. Good. So depending on what you're more used to, you could do the left leg first and stay there and do that, right? And then I like to bend, here. As much as I could bend, feels so good. So just find what works best for you and what feels good at the moment. We're staying and holding. Finding your relaxed state. Beautiful. To let go, I like to open my legs as wide as I can. Good. If your toes touch the back of your ground or mat or wherever you are, that's great. Then I like to grab one heel at a time if it's accessible to you, right? This requires a lot of that. Like basically, we're now doing almost like a shoulder stand, right? Wide-legged plow pose. And you could, if you cannot reach your heels, you could just grab any part of your legs that you can grab. This is always going to be different for everybody, depending on your flexibility and bone structure. All right, now I'm closing my legs, feet together. And I like to do this and hold this for handstands. Good. If you could touch your toes with your arms, it's okay if it's not touching. Just want to relax and really compress. Think about compression as you lower each vertebra at a time, slowly. I'm basically exhaling with each lower. And we're ending in Shavasana. Oh, wow. That was so good. Thank your body for this practice. I hope you enjoyed that wheel class. And if you did, make sure before you leave to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you know what to do, and I'll see you guys on my next one.